friends, welcome back to Kid Short Stories. I want to make sure that you are on our next game show, which is happening on Instagram Live. So follow our Kid Short Stories Instagram account. Our next game show happens on February 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You will win free merch by answering our trivia questions. I will see you there. Today's story comes to us from Harlan. He sent me an awesome idea for a story, and you can too. Just head over to kidshortstories.com, send me your idea, and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. Are you guys ready for today's story? Me too, let's go! It was a beautiful day, and Harlan and his friends were playing outside. They were running around the neighborhood, playing a massive game of hide and seek across a whole bunch of different backyards and front yards and all the different houses on their street. This was pretty awesome. Have you ever played such an epic game of hide and seek before? Those are some pretty amazing games where it could take a pretty long time to find everyone because there's so many different hiding spots. Well, Harlan was the one that was finding everyone, and he was very good at it. "I see you over there, Camden!" he shouted. Camden was hiding behind some bushes. Elsie and Kiva were the last ones to be hiding, and Harlan was searching everywhere. All right, where have I not looked? Harlan had checked what he thought was every hiding spot, but the last place that he would ever expect was up a tree. There was this old gnarly tree that was growing at the end of the street, and it had all these really old big branches that people love to go climbing on. But finally, Harlan decided to check that tree. "There you are! Elsie, Kiva, I see you up there! Holy smokes, that was a good spot!" "Oh man," shouted Kiva. They both climbed down, and Harlan had finally found everyone on the street. "Harlan! Come on home!" "Okay, I'm coming." That was one of his parents shouting for Harlan to come back home because they were going to go run out and do some errands. And little did Harlan know how crazy this errand run would be. Do you like going out with your parents to do some errands? Yeah, errands it's a word for like maybe going grocery shopping or running to the store and picking up something, or, you just never know what your parents' errand list might have. As Harlan jumped into the car, off they drove. "All right, Harlan, the first thing that we got to do, we got to bring our car to the car wash. It's very dirty." "Yes, I love the car wash," said Harlan. "Have you ever been in a car wash before?" They are pretty fun when all the hoses and the water and the bubbles are spraying, and it can be a little noisy, but it's almost like a roller coaster ride. As the car pulled into the car wash station, they drove inside, and there the water began spraying. All kinds of crazy noises were all around the car. Harlan loved watching everything spraying, and it was like being inside of a robot machine, watching everything automatically do its different jobs. But then something terrible happened. All of a sudden, the car turned off. And as Harlan's parents tried to turn the car back on, it wouldn't start. "Oh no, Harlan, I think we ran out of gas." "What are we gonna do? We're stuck inside this car wash. How are we gonna get more gas?" shouted Harlan. Holy smokes, what would you do if you were stuck inside of a car that was inside of a car wash and you ran out of gas? Do you have any ideas? The only idea that I can think of is that you'd have to get out of the car and walk over to the gas station, but you'd get sprayed with everything. Oy, that is a serious problem. As their car was now just sitting in the middle of this car wash that was spraying all this soap and water everywhere, Harlan knew what they had to do. "Guys, I think we have to get out of the car and walk over to the gas station over there." Harlan, what are you talking about? We'll get completely soaked and full of soap, said his dad. I know, but there's no other way. We have to do this. Okay, I'm going with you, said his dad. Harlan and his dad both plugged their noses and squinted their eyes and held their breath. They felt like they were jumping into the ocean, but it wasn't an ocean. It was a bubbly, spraying tornado mess of a car wash. All right, 1, 2, 3. And just like that, they quickly opened a door and jumped out of the car and then slammed the door shut so that none of the water would get in the car. Run! All the spraying of water and soap completely soaked Harlan and his dad. You should have seen them. As they came running out of the car wash, they looked like pink soap monsters. From head to toe, they were filled and covered with this puffy pink soap. As they stood there in shock of what just happened, staring at each other, they instantly started to laugh. Look at you, Harlan, said his dad. I feel like a giant pink fluffy monster, said Harlan. As he wiped the soap off of his face with his 2 hands, he finally was able to breathe normally again. But as he looked down at his arms and the rest of his body, he didn't know exactly what to do. The 2 of them started walking over to the gas station to fill up a little tank of gas to put in their car. And people started screaming, "Ah! It's a monster! Ah!" Everyone at the gas station was absolutely terrified. And I would be too if it looked like a giant pink monster was walking towards me. Harlan and his dad waved their arms and said, "No, we're people. We're not monsters. Everybody, we're just covered in soap. We got stuck in the car wash." All the people screaming instantly turned to laughing, and they grabbed some paper towels and some rags to help Harlan and his dad wipe themselves off. "Oh, thank you, thank you." Harlan grabbed a towel and started wiping the soap off of his body. His dad filled up a container with gas that they would bring over to their car. "All right, Harlan, let's get back to the car wash and maybe rinse ourselves off a little bit." As they got back to the car wash, they told their mom to put the car in neutral, and then they would be able to push the car out the rest of the way without it having to turn on. Because you don't want to fill up a car with gas amidst a tornado of soap and water spraying everywhere. You don't want that to get in your car's gas tank. As they pushed the car out of the car wash, it was like going through a big shower. It rinsed off all that pink soap off of both of them. Their mom was laughing hysterically from inside of the car. She had watched the whole thing and couldn't help but just laugh. "How are you soap monsters doing?" she shouted. "Very, very not funny," said his dad. "That was awesome," said Harlan. "Let's do it again." Nope. "Well, what are we going to do about all these errands that we got to do?" "Yeah, we're not going to be doing those errands right now," said his mom. "We definitely need to get home and get some dry clothes first." Harlan's dad filled up the car with gas, and they shook as much of the water off of themselves before they got in the car and drove home. Holy smokes! That is not how they expected their day of errands would go, right? Well, if that ever happens to me or you now, we know what to do. We know how to survive being stuck in a car wash. And that may be the end of the adventure, but that was a very helpful lesson, just in case that ever happens to me or you. Great job, you listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is? It's time for kid shout-outs. I want to say hey to Sterling from California, Olivia from Brazil, Thatcher from Louisiana, Conrad from North Carolina, Wyatt and Charlie from Oregon, Braden from Washington, and Winter from Vancouver, British Columbia. I am so glad that you're all on the Kid Short Stories family and on our spy team. We could not stop Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew without you, my friends. Well, don't forget about our game show on February 21st. Follow Kid Short Stories Instagram. I will see you there. Bye.